Alright class, today you have been given with the task this week to create a bill of material off of your design. So I'm going to kind of show you, for time's sake on this video, to not force you to have to watch it too long. This is the project plan that I'm using for a bench, pretty simple bench out of a magazine I picked up last summer called One Day Backyard Projects. It's got some pretty neat ideas on here, but this is just a simple bench with a back that's made out of 2x8s and screws. So I want you to create the actual bill of material and get the cost on the chairs that you have designed. And to do that, we're going to actually be using Google Spreadsheets and setting up a Google Spreadsheet. Now, one of the reasons I want you to do this is because, you know, I envision some of you at some point becoming business owners. This is all part of costing, done as a way to get an idea and a knowledge of how much your materials cost you for projects. And the idea there, you know, typically if we are making something for ourselves, we aren't really that cost conscious in some cases. We're just going to build it because we want to build it and we want to be able to use it for ourselves. But when you start to build wood projects to then turn around and sell to customers to make a living at it, it becomes a whole different ball game, and you become very, very price conscious and cost conscious as well. So that's the idea here. I'm teaching you how to use spreadsheets in this case, so that you can see and be able to set up your own formulas in Google Spreadsheets to make it easier for you to cost projects and get an idea of how much it's going to run you, so you'll know if you do decide to ever go in business and start charging somebody for your projects, you'll know what you can afford to bill them at, so that you can actually make money at this. So you'll see I've got Google up on my screen here. So I'm going to go right here to my Google apps over here on the right hand side. And I want Google, let's see, where's it at? Of course I get into this, and right here is Google Sheets. So you want to select Google Sheets. So this is going to be a spreadsheet. Now, of course, if you've got Excel and you know how to use Excel, you can also do this in Excel. I generally prefer Excel, but to make this easier for all you guys, because you're doing this in the school environment, you have Google Sheets. So we'll go ahead and use Google Sheets. So go ahead and create a blank spreadsheet. And we're going to start off right away by naming this. So let it, there we go. So we'll name this bill of material. So and we're going to name this template, because once we get this set up, then I think you'll be able to use that for yourself just by changing this. So bill of material template, and now I have all of these different areas. So if you remember, when we've done this in the past, we need to kind of set these columns up here. So as I think about it, so as you're looking at the bill of material and the parts list and so forth that you have for yours, or your materials list, it gives you a breakdown. And we typically will do it by parts. So legs, bench, chair, back, top. So we can go ahead and just put in part name there. The next part aspect of this, we want to put a quantity in there, because in some cases you might need one, some places you might need two, so quantity. And we have the thickness, the width, and the length. So that would be the rough sizes. And we have the thickness, width, and length for the finished sizes. So now, this is going to be a little different than what you're used to, because, for example, on my material list, it is calling for 2x8 by 8 foot cedar, redwood or treated lumber. It's calling for 2x8 by 10 foot cedar, redwood, or treated lumber, exterior construction adhesive, and then 2.5 inch galvanized deck screws. And that is all. It needs one of each of those to build this. So this one will be kind of simple for me. Excuse me, as I go. But so the part name, and we'll go cedar board. So you can name it whatever you want, and I'm going to need one. Now, in this case, all I need is the thickness, width, and length for this, and this is a 2x8 by 8 foot. So there's 2x8 by 8 foot. So now, in this case, 8 foot needs to be converted into inches. So 8 times 12 is 96. So, and I got one of those, and I also have a cedar board. And again, this is also, now this is a 2x8 by 10 footer, I think I said. Yeah, 10 foot. So that will be 120 inches there. So that gives me that. And I need one of those as well. All right. I also need 2.5 inch galvanized deck screws. So go ahead and put these in. 2.5 inch galvanized deck screws. Probably only need one box of those. We're going to see, let me spread this out here. Move that up. And spread this out so that I can read all of that. Now, the other thing that you can do, if I don't want to have this column be that wide, is I can also keep that moved over. And when I'm doing this, notice how it hides that. So if you come right up here, you do have text wrapping or text rotation. So I'm going to go ahead with the text wrapping. Notice how I can go ahead and select the text wrapping feature on that. You have overflow and you have clip. I do want to be able to read that, so I'll just put that there. It keeps the width of the column the same width. It will just double, kind of increases the how wide or the size of the actual row instead. So, and I need one of those, and in this case it's just going to be a simple quantity of one. So not necessarily a board foot type scenario. Now, the next thing I need is for costing on each of these. So let me go ahead. We will do cost. And to find out the cost, I'm going to go up here to Menards.com. You can go to any building supply and get materials from. I like to go to Menards website and use Menards website for this, mainly because I think it's pretty easy to get costing information. So and it's very user friendly for me. So here under departments, so once I'm going to go down to building materials, click on that, and the building materials that I need are lumber and boards for right now. So let's pull up and see there, scroll down, cedar wood products. That's what I need right here, boards. Cedar wood products and boards. and I am looking for the price on a 2x8x8 footer and 2x8x10 footer. So as I go, notice the selection as far as nominal size and width. And this only goes up to 5/4 by 4 or 5/4 by 8. So not the size that I need. So let's back up. Coming back here. So that wasn't a board. Let's take a look. So that is actually dimensional lumber, and I can kind of go back through this way. There's my 2x4s. There's a 2x12. I actually needed 2x8s. Oh, there's a 1x8. There are my 2x8s right here, and I got 7 variations available. So this is going to get me pricing right away. So, hey, and right there, my 8-footer is the first one up. So that's going to be $31.69. I'm going to go ahead and add that to my cart. So continue shopping. Let's go back here into my bill material and add that. That was $31.69. So, and then in this one's probably too easy. That's 10-foot length, so I just click on the 10-foot. That is $39.69. So we'll add that to the cart. So view the cart now, because that's both of what I need. And go back here and add that in, $39.69 is the cost on that. All right. Now, here's where we're going to start to create some formulas as we go. So, total cost. Now, you have all sorts of different types of formulas available to you, or what they refer to as a function, right up here. And some of you should probably already be aware of this. Some of you might need to know a little bit more, but these are all different types of functions here that you will go to use. So to create these, so sum, average, count, max, min. So just as an example, if I go to, I'm going to place this right here for now, and if I go to the function and sum, notice it is given me the sum here with the value, and then all I need to do is select, and by pressing the left key and holding it down, and it's going to highlight those, and pressing enter will give me the sum of both of those together. Now, we have a total of pieces over here and a total cost there. So that's going to be a little different when we go to actually do that. So because we've got to create a different type of a multiplier here. So that won't be a sum in that case. That will actually be a product. Basically, I've got to take this cost times the quantity here. So that's a product. And to do that, we will use the function. So if you go up here to function, this is going to be a math function, or actually an operator function of multiply, product of two numbers. So select that. Now notice it wants to multiply, so I'm going to multiply this and that. So, and hold those two down, goes all the way through. That's not what I want. So control button, and the so we'll select J5 and B5 here. Hold the control button. Let me do that again just so you see. Let me escape out of here. So I want this total cost. I'm going to go up here to the operator. This is going to be a multiply. And I want to multiply B5 5, I will hold the control button down and then also select J5. Notice how it comes out and what the formula actually is. Equals, multiply B5, comma, J5. Hit enter. That gives me $31.69. So, makes sense. Let me change this to say 5. That's going to give me $158.45. So, but I only need one. So this is the nice thing about setting up formulas in your spreadsheet, is that once you've got it set up, it's going to do it all for you. So let me go ahead here now with this one. Now notice, if this is like Excel, I don't have to go up here. Let's try this and see if it works. If I just click on that cell, right click and hit copy, and then go here to that cell, right click and paste, and lo and behold, it works the same way. So it gives me the same thing. So if I had a whole series of parts, say if I had 20 of these part names, I could basically set it up once and then just do a copy paste all the way down to get it to do all of those, and basically put the formula in there for every single one. Over here, so since this is a sum and it's the sum of these two numbers, I'm going to right click, copy, and then I'm going to right click, paste over here as well, so that I get both of those together. Now here, watch this. So this is, let's say I need 2 of these and 4 of those. There you go. That gives me the price of 1 of each by itself, and it gives me the cost altogether. Now I said that you will need to do this for all of the parts that you need. So to make 4 chairs, so 4 cedar boards that are 8 feet long, 4 cedar boards that are 10 feet long would be what I would need to make 4 of these. That gives me a total cost here of $285.52. Now, I'm going to highlight both of these. We will cut these out for a minute. I'm going to paste those down there because I forgot I also need some 2.5-inch galvanized deck screws. So let me come back here to Menards. Let's just type in deck screws. See what they have in deck screws. So the length I need as I go through, I think I can probably find the shank diameter. Overall length here is 2.5 inches. They've got 83 different possibilities. So that's my filter. Notice all the different types and styles. Now, I want to also go ahead with the drive. Notice I've got a 6-lobe or Phillips. So, locks, Phillips, square head. I kind of like the square head drivers, especially for outdoor type projects. They tend to grab and hold. So, you got some different sizes here. All I need really is a probably a 2-pound box, whatever the smallest size is. I don't need a huge amount of these. So let's see, to narrow this down a little bit more. Notice you got different diameters. Let's assume I'm going to go with let's go with the number 8. So, and let me see if anything else here that I can. Materials, they're all steel, color finish. There are these, well, don't know that finish is going to be kind of preference. So $6.53. Not seeing what the size of it is, but I'm pretty sure that I don't need to be spending $95 or $22 here. So I'm just going to add this box here. So Alright, so that gives me 105 count. 2.5 square green coated exterior bugle head. Yep, that looks good to me. So that's $5.16. So go ahead and add that to my cart. Come back over here. This was $5.16 for 100 and some. Now, got to do the same thing here. So we'll copy and paste this in. So one box. And on this sum, now notice when we copied and pasted this, this only gave us the sum of K5 to K6. So I'm going to change this and take it all the way down here to K8 instead. So K5, K6, K7, K8, and K9. I'm going to go ahead and add K9 in there. So put that back, backspace, just enter K9, and that gives me the change. Now, let's say I do decide I'm going to go ahead and buy 4 boxes of deck screws. Changes, everything's changed in there. So, but again, I only need the 1 box. So for me to build 4 of these benches, it's going to cost me $290.68 for my materials on that. So you guys go ahead and work on yours. Send me questions. I'll put another video out on setting up this spreadsheet there for you as well. Use the spreadsheet though. Get those formulas set. If you're having problems, if you don't know what formula to put in, send me an email. I'll be glad to get that out for you.